Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live shopping. I'm so happy to have you all here. Please say hello and where you're watching from. And if this is your first time joining us for live shopping, it's a fairly new thing that we do here at Vitatree. Of course, I'm Dr. Janine. Welcome on in. I am the formulator of all the Vitatree products and so proud to be able to bring them to you here live. So whether you're watching on social media or directly on our website on Vitatree.com, that's of course where you do your shopping on Vitatree.com. And welcome on in. So let's start with our Deal Day item, which is our organic vitamin C. And what Deal Day means is that this item is only available, and it's actually a 2-pack. This is only available for the next 24 hours, and it is our best deal of the day, hence Deal Day, and a substantial discount on one of our very favorite bestsellers in the line of Vitatree whole food vitamins. Again, if you're new here, completely different concept in vitamin formulations. I am the formulator and I'm going to explain all of the formulations, but really quickly, the value here on our organic vitamin C, this is not synthetic or ascorbic acid like most of the vitamin C out here. This is our organic vitamin C, and at a subscription price as low as $51.28. Now, you don't have to do subscription. Of course, our regular price on the 2-bottle offer is $75.98. You can also try it one time, $56.98. I know you're going to love it though. Subscription is a great way to get the extra percentage off and free shipping, but you can, purchase as you like. And it's great to have you here. So thank you for joining us. Now, I want to tell you the difference about organic vitamin C versus other vitamin C's that are out there. Now, most of them out there in the marketplace are synthetically derived. And what they do is they use something like genetically modified corn, and they extract ascorbic acid using something like sulfuric acid. So not so natural. And this is why, myself as a naturopath years back, before I started formulating, I really started to take a close look at vitamin formulations. Even the most expensive brands that I was, taught in school that were the best to be prescribing to my patients, I really started to take a look at the fine details as to what was going into these formulations, how were they made, where were they extracting, the vitamins and minerals from. And then I really started to look at all the fillers and the flow agents. And that's what makes Vitatree so different. So of course, fast forward when I became a formulator and really just had to bring something new and different and better into the marketplace, that's how Vitatree was born. And this is where I, made some different changes in terms of formulation, in terms of not using synthetically derived nutrients and making sure that we weren't using any fillers or flow agents. And one of the big ones is magnesium stearate. And, I want you to check your vitamin bottles for this ingredient. Of course, we don't use it at Vitatree. There's other variations of this. It is a chemical. It's not magnesium. It is a chemical. It's used as a flow agent to help to speed up production times, hence cutting down the cost of production. And that's why other, brands use it. But it's never been tested for safety for long-term human consumption. So that's kind of like a red flag to me. Another thing is that it causes symptoms for people that finally, discover that they're actually sensitive to this and they've been ingesting it in their supplements, that it can cause heart palpitations and gastric reflux and other symptoms as well. So of course, you're not going to find that in any Vitatree product. And remember, this is Deal Day on our organic vitamin C. It's only available for 24 hours or as long as we've got some quantity. You can imagine things do sell very quickly on our Deal Day items, and as low as $51.28 on subscription. But if you wanted to try it one time, and if you wanted to even split up your payments and spread that out over time, you could definitely do that if you're a first-time shopper as well, and saving $19 there. So yeah, organic vitamin C. And vitamin C deficiency is very common. You may not know that you have a vitamin C deficiency. Let's look at some of the most common symptoms of being low in vitamin C. Bleeding issues. So what vitamin C does is actually helps to maintain the integrity of our blood vessel walls, meaning healthy veins. So if you're prone to varicose veins, that could be, a symptom of vitamin C deficiency. If you brush and floss your teeth and you notice that there's some blood there, you go to the dentist and, there's a lot of blood, that could be a vitamin C deficiency. So it really does help for your dental health. If you have nosebleeds often, that can be a vitamin C deficiency as well. Fatigue, depression, low mood related to vitamin C. Remember, vitamin C isn't one of the nutrients that we make. Like vitamin D, we make from sunlight exposure. We don't make our own vitamin C. We actually lost that through evolution. So we need to get it from an outside source. And because our food has become so depleted in these essential nutrients, like, vitamin C being a big one, are we actually getting enough? We have to ask ourselves. And that's, one of the reasons why when you have a vitamin C deficiency and then you start supplementing with the organic vitamin C from Vitatree, it's amazing how your skin becomes more youthful, your immune system is optimized, and it really is because of the formulation. It's very different from your conventional ascorbic acid vitamin C's that are out there. Again, these are the ingredients, and organic camu berries, which have a high potency naturally of vitamin C. They're 60 times more concentrated in vitamin C as compared to oranges. Organic acerola cherries, again, are 13 times more concentrated in that active and absorbable vitamin C compared to oranges. Quercetin is a natural antihistamine. It actually helps with the bioavailability. It helps with the proper synergy of the nutrients and helps with that proper absorption of the actual vitamin C, as well as the citrus bioflavonoids. So from the pith of our citrus fruit. So when you peel an apple or an orange or a tangerine, or you're cutting into a lemon, the white part, the pith, that is what has the citrus bioflavonoids. And these are amazing at helping, and this is what the research shows, helps with the proper absorption of that vitamin C. So again, you don't see any fillers here. You don't see any white powders. This is just all natural ingredients from Mother Nature. No magnesium stearate, no synthetic ingredients, no fillers or flow agents. And that's, really, really important in terms of your proper absorption and being able to use that vitamin C. Vitamin C, we know, helps with our collagen levels and helps with that proper scaffolding of our collagen. If we come back over here for a second, I'll show you that what can happen as we're aging and with free radical damage. So remember, it's a potent antioxidant, helps to quench free radicals. What can happen in terms of our collagen fibers is that they can become disorganized. So there's kind of this cross-linking thing that's happening with our collagen, as you can see here, as part of the aging process. And that's one of the reasons why vitamin C kind of acts like a natural scaffolding for our collagen to help to keep the collagen properly stacked. And that's what gives us that nice firmness and bounciness to our skin. As well as for our immune system, it's so important that we're optimizing our vitamin C levels. It's one of those, nutrients that's water soluble. So it's not like vitamin D or vitamin E or vitamin K that's fat soluble and our body can hold on to it a little bit longer. Vitamin C is water soluble, so we very easily can urinate it out through the kidneys. And in times when our body is actually fighting, in terms of our immune system fighting something off, then we tend to, deplete our vitamin C more rapidly. And that's why one of the symptoms, if we go back to that, of, having a cold or flu, you start to get the joint aches and body aches. Well, that can be related to simply that vitamin C deficiency because your body is utilizing your vitamin C to, fight off whatever it's fighting. Increased susceptibility to infection, we know for our immune system, important. Muscle weakness as well can be related to low vitamin C. So I want to say hello, and hello, nice to see you, RGV Suzuki. Thank you for tuning in. Emma, Lena, Oris, Alex, hello from in Nigeria. Great to see you. V. Cadlam in Long Island, New York. Thanks for tuning in today. Odell, thank you for tuning in from California. Julius, thank you for tuning in as well. So thank you so much. And if you do have questions, my team is working, hard behind the scenes. I can't answer all your questions during the lives, of course, but thank you for tuning in today. And of course, go to Vitatree.com. This is where you're going to see our Deal Day item, and of course, the other items that we'll talk about throughout the show today. Here, if we take a look at the great testimonials really quickly. So vitamin C is so important to me. This is 5 stars from Diane. I have MS. It's important I have a healthy immune, strong antioxidant, and good support of the nervous system. Vitatree's organic vitamin C offers all that. I've had few colds and flu. I got complimented on my skin. You're 71. Wow. You have no wrinkles. Good eating and excellent supplements contribute to that. Well, thank you so much, Diane. Also 5 stars from Robert. It gave me the vitamin C boost I needed with no fillers. Love that it's whole foods. Yes, thank you so much, Robert, for appreciating that difference. Of course, the Vitatree difference. And Sandra, 5 stars, used it for about 4 years now. It's good. I'd rather spend more money on something I know that doesn't have fillers. Well, today you don't have to spend more money. Today you have substantial savings on the organic vitamin C as our deal day item. So it's only available for the next 24 hours. So please make sure you know that you're going to Vitatree.com and put it in your cart so that you've got it. And of course you can put it on subscription so that you're getting it every couple months, which is amazing. You don't have to think about your next purchase, and it will secure that price. I believe for up to 1 year. I think if my producer can just confirm that, for 1 year you can get that that offer. Yes, okay. So yeah, so there you go. Amazing. All right, so let's move on now to our, magnesium. All right, great. I'm going to show you this. I was just away recently and did a little demonstration at the breakfast table as to how powerful and how well absorbed the magnesium is from Vitatree. So very different from other magnesiums that you may have experienced. And it's something that, yeah, with magnesium, we are looking at magnesium bisglycinate here. So bound to glycine. Now, glycine is an amino acid. It works like a neurotransmitter, so really important for brain function and health. But we need magnesium for over 300 different chemical reactions in our body. It has a lot to do with our enzyme systems and how well our organ function actually is optimized, especially muscle function. And when we think about, the biggest muscle, maybe not the biggest, but one of the most important muscles is our heart muscle, of course, and that Valentine's Day is coming up, so we always like to think about healthy hearts and circulation and love, and we got to keep our hearts healthy and strong. And the proper and regular beating of our heart is related to having enough magnesium. And, we've actually had testimonials from customers who've used the Vitatree magnesium specifically, and were able to make sure that, they were, followed up by a cardiologist, that it helped to regulate their heartbeat. So they must have had, like a lot of us do have, even if we don't know it, a magnesium deficiency, because our diets have become so devoid in magnesium that this is something that can really help with cardiovascular health. Now I want to show you the Vitatree difference very quickly. Now, again, because we don't have any fillers or flow agents, that magnesium is so important that it has that high absorption. And without that magnesium stearate, now when I open up that magnesium into just a little bit of water, you can see that it completely disappears. And that's because we don't have the magnesium stearate, no other, fillers like microcrystalline cellulose or titanium dioxide or silicon dioxide. There's nothing in there that's going to compromise the proper absorption of that magnesium. And remember, with the 2 glycines, which is so important, and that is, we often can have a glycine deficiency because of our modern farming. It's something that gets chelated in the soil, and here's the thing, it's not something that your doctor necessarily is testing for. They're not testing that you have a glycine deficiency, and they're certainly not testing that you have a magnesium deficiency. Yet, probably about latest study that I looked at, 61% of adults are actually deficient in magnesium. So, more than half, so definitely the majority of adults have a magnesium deficiency. True for children as well. And this is some of the symptoms of magnesium deficiency, which are so common. The first one I think of is muscle cramping. I've got my kids, young athletes at home, and if they forget to take the magnesium, they're busy, they're running around all the time. They eat a healthy diet. I do my best to feed them as healthy as possible, yet at the same time, with all that extra exercise and perspiration, so the more you're sweating, you can be becoming more depleted in that magnesium, muscle cramping is a real thing. So if they've forgotten to take their magnesium, or I make a little electrolyte drink with the Vitatree magnesium, and it's actually better. They prefer it over, the other ones that you can buy, starts with a G, without any, compromising ingredients. I make it all natural with the Vitatree magnesium, because remember, it completely dissolves in the water. But that muscle cramping and weakness is a big symptom of that magnesium deficiency. If you crave a lot of chocolate, all right, everybody put up your hand, give me a thumbs up in the comments if you crave chocolate. Yeah, again, a big sign of magnesium deficiency, as well as slower metabolism. So you wonder, okay, why am I gaining this weight? Maybe hormones are changing. So magnesium has a lot with regulation of hormones as well. But, maybe it's because of magnesium that your metabolism is slowed down, and magnesium helps with the metabolism of your carbs, your fats, and your protein. So, all your macronutrients need that magnesium for proper metabolism. Irregular heartbeat, which we talked about. If you get those annoying eye twitches, that can be related again to that magnesium deficiency. If you drink a lot of coffee, that's very common because often you are depleting your magnesium very readily, and you get the eye twitches because you don't have enough magnesium. Chronic headaches, this is a big one, that you want to make sure that you're optimizing your magnesium levels, and those headaches will not come back again. This is really important during travel as well, because if you're, prone to, and how everything gets depleted and squeezed and compressed because of the pressure when you're traveling, especially airplane travel, that magnesium deficiency, I used to always get headaches myself when I traveled, even like shorter distances because of the radiation or what have you on an airplane. And now I know it's like part of my protocol to do my electrolytes, take my magnesium, and mix that into my water. It makes all the difference in the world, and I don't get those headaches anymore, which is amazing. Asthma, again, it helps. It's a muscle relaxant, our magnesium, so helps with those spasms. Menstrual cramps, ladies, you never have to suffer again. So please share this with someone who needs to hear it. You never need to suffer again with menstrual cramps when you're taking your magnesium daily. 2 capsules a day is your standard dosage, low bone density. We know this works with our calcium, but we don't take them at the same time. So that's kind of like a little rule here at Vitatree. Magnesium in the morning. I've got a ton of videos on this. If you've seen me on social media, you can check them out. Magnesium in the morning, because remember, it's going to help with your metabolism, your heartbeat, all of those things, anxiety, stress. We need all of that support for magnesium during the day. And our calcium is something that we take closer to bedtime. Okay, so I know it's completely opposite of what you've heard before if you haven't watched some of my content before. Okay, magnesium, 5 stars from Erica. Sometimes you don't know what the body needs till it's got it. Isn't that true? Thank you, Dr. Bowring, for educating us about this magnesium. It's a clean ingredient without any other agents, and that makes us feel safe. Love this magnesium. I feel great and help my daily life full of energy. Thank you so much, Erica. Such kind words. Another 5 stars from Purple Yam. Thank you, Dr. Bowring, for educating us about this magnesium. It's a clean ingredient with other agents, and that helps to make us feel safe. Okay, yes. So thank you so much for your great testimonials. It's so great to have you all here today and tuning in. Bobby, hello, nice to see you. Hachi, girl, nice to see you. Yes, drinking alcohol does deplete magnesium, so coffee, alcohol, definitely and stress, you're going to deplete your magnesium very quickly as well. So these are things that we definitely want to make sure that we're getting enough magnesium, 2 capsules every day. Remember, in the morning. All right, I'm going to show you this, and we'll come right back.
We're so glad you joined us for Vitatree Live Shopping with Dr. Janine Bowring. Stock up and save up to 35% on your favorite Vitatree products at Vitatree.com. Need help or have a question? Call 1-844-GET-WELL or email our team at hello@Vitatree.com or chat with us in the comments for live answers from Dr. Janine.
All right, yes, what a great phone number, 1-844-GET-WELL. If you do have questions, comments, make sure that you are calling the team, and they will be happy and ready to answer your questions. And if they don't know the answer, they're going to come looking for me to help to, answer your questions as well. And if I don't know, I do my research. So yeah, make sure you're sending your questions in, and getting those questions answered. Okay, we are moving on to a very, very important supplement. Okay, this is found on Vitatree.com, and it is our Para-Vide. All right, so Paravide, what is this all about? Well, it's all about getting rid of those bad guys, unwanted organisms that could be found in the digestive tract. Is something that we target very specifically with the formulation. If you know anything about, cleansing out the microbiome, about those unwanted organisms that could be in there, you've probably heard some of the, key ingredients within the Paravide formula. But again, this is very different without the magnesium stearate, without the fillers, the flow agents. This is something that I call CABO, C-A-B-O, cloves, artemisia, black walnut, and oregano. And in combination, in the right milligram amounts that I put into the formulation, this is very targeting to cleaning up that unhealthy microbiome, something called dysbiosis. And there's different stages of dysbiosis, that unhealthy gut. Of course, when we have a normal and healthy gut, we've got enough good guys, our probiotics. And what happens at stage one is a relative decrease in the number of good guys, our probiotics. Now, what happens then is that now we become more vulnerable to those less favorable organisms. So it is, the candida and those other worms and things, which we can show you a picture of, that can start to take hold. Now at stage 3, they start to replicate. They're having a party. At stage 4, it's like a full-on house party, unwanted guests that are there. And yeah, we need to call the police because they are going to take over and trash the house. And that's exactly what happens when we have some of these unfavorable organisms. And you can see all of them that I talk a lot about on television about, getting rid of what shouldn't be there. And yes, we've all got unwanted organisms. At which degree and how much are they actually affecting our overall health? And this isn't just about gas and bloating and, gut health. We're talking about leaky gut syndrome. We're talking about autoimmunity. We're talking about long-term, serious diseases that are now in the research, really interesting, being correlated to some of these unfavorable organisms like this one. So it's something that I definitely want you to be aware of, that doing a good sort of microbiome cleansing with the CABO formula, with the Paravide, is something that I recommend at least once per quarter, so 4 times per year. The way that you take this, you're taking 2 capsules twice a day, and that is something that's going to last you 2 weeks. Now, if you know anything about this type of cleansing, they have a life cycle, these bad organisms in the gut. So what we want to do is to make sure that we're getting them through their life cycle. So the first bottle is going to be 2 weeks. You're doing that strong phase of getting rid of these bad guys. Then you take a 2-week break. And then you go back and do ideally another bottle. So I know that the 1 bottle offer, there's multiple bottle offers that you can check out on Vitatree.com. I highly recommend that you start with at least 2 bottles of the Paravide. But this is such a game changer, especially, for those of you that are struggling with your health. You're struggling with something. I don't care what it is. It could be a chronic skin issue. It could be a chronic gut issue. Your immune system is struggling. You just know that you're not feeling great. Maybe, it's since you did travel. Maybe you didn't travel. I mean, people once thought that, you could only pick up these kind of bad organisms when you went to different parts of the world, or, drinking different water, eating different food. True, but not even, you don't have to travel. Being right at home, if you have pets, if you're out in the garden, if you eat salads, if you eat vegetables, if if you're just living a regular life, you can be picking up these, less favorable organisms, and they could be wreaking havoc on your overall health. Okay, so this is something that's really, really important to make sure I don't go anywhere without my Paravide if I do travel. And I do the protocol. I do it at least once per season, so 4 times a year, following it up with the Vita Detox, which we'll talk about as well. It's part of that microbiome cleansing protocol with the Paravide. Again, 2 capsules twice a day. Check it out on Vitatree.com. And I think we do have some great, testimonials on yes, we do, on the Paravide. Okay, I want to go through these. 5 stars from Beth. How do I not sound super cliche? Okay, I love this. I haven't even gone through the whole parasite cleanse yet, but after the first dose of Paravide, I felt so much better that I knew that everything Dr. Janine had said was true. Well, thank you for the confidence, Beth. It's great to hear that. The pain in my gut, the tension in my neck from the toxins, all gone. And I've paid so much in chiropractic, doctors, tests, and meds This has been the answer all along, and it is just herbal supplements. Why is no one talking about this? I cannot recommend this product enough. Thank you, Beth B, so much, because, like Beth, there's so many of you that are watching that are struggling with your health, and nobody can, even the doctors, the specialists, and I've heard this story so many times. That's why I've been able to help so many people. Nobody can put their finger on it exactly what that diagnosis is, or maybe have a diagnosis and whatever they're doing for you is not helping. Please just take this into consideration with the Paravid. Try it just once. Just get just one bottle and see what it can do for you. Gentle, yet very effective. So I don't want you to be scared of the protocol with the cleansing. The detox we'll talk about next. It's very gentle on you, yet it's going to do what it needs to do to get rid of those less favorable organisms. I am on my second bottle of Paravid and noticed a huge clear up of ongoing sinus problems, including infections for the past 3 years. My headaches are gone. Congestion has cleared up. Sleep much better. I plan on taking 2 more bottles and continue to follow Dr. Janine's suggested protocol while taking these herbs. Thank you, Mireille. Did I pronounce that properly? I hope so. Thank you so much for your great testimony. I'm so glad that it worked for you, that you're feeling better, and we have literally thousands of people now here, at least in Canada, and across North America, who have benefited from that Paravid protocol. And part of that protocol is also our Vita Detox. So we start with the Paravid, remember, 2 capsules twice a day. The next part of the protocol, and you're going to start that for 2 weeks, then remember you take a 2-week break of the Paravid, and you don't have to remember any of this. It all comes on your dosage instruction sheet when you get your order home. Then you start our Vita Detox. Now, the Vita Detox, this is a full body detox. So yes, it's a liver cleanse. It's a digestive cleanse. It's a blood cleanser, lymphatic cleanser, helps to cleanse the lungs, your skin, your kidneys, your liver as well, as that full body detox. And the way that I formulated this, again, is to be very gentle on you, yet it's very specific at moving those toxins through and out of your system. And to be quite honest, that was the basis of my first 2 books that I wrote. And I even talked about it here in my 3rd book, in The Lost Medicine, which we'll show you a little bit about this in a second. But so important, because that toxicity internally translates into symptoms, often externally. So whether that's the eczema, the psoriasis, it could be the headaches, because of that internal toxicity. And that's why the Vita Detox, being that full body detox, very different from other cleanses and detoxes out there, very gentle on you, but will help with eliminating that toxic load, actually asks your organs to become a little bit more efficient at moving those toxins through very gently, very effectively. I'm just going to show you a bit of a demo as to how the Vita Detox is actually different. But all the symptoms of toxicity that your body could be telling you, some of which are on this chart, in terms of cardiovascular health, blocked arteries. Is it the fatty liver, which seems to be like every second person over the age of 50 has fatty liver now. You can get fatty kidneys now as well, because potentially is correlated to, this toxicity load. Skin changes, so acne, eczema, psoriasis, rashes, dry patches, sore joints and muscles, the gas, the bloating, diarrhea, constipation, flatulence, fatty stool, weight gain, headaches, migraines, fatigue, inability to focus, and memory loss, all because of that toxicity that's built up. And it's something that, I talk a lot about in my latest book, in The Lost Medicine. We have to reconnect our internal environment with our external environment. And, part of detoxification, if we looked at what our forefathers did, they would go out into the fields, and when different, herbal medicines would grow, they would use these as teas and things to just naturally, that's what they did. It was available around them. They would naturally do that to help to cleanse their systems. And, that's become lost in our modern world with modern medicine. And I think we need to get back to that. That's, the big reason why I called my book The Lost Medicine was, that's the title, because we've become so disconnected. So getting outside, natural sunlight exposure, using the herbal medicines to, that could be around us to help with that toxic load. Now, here's the big difference. Other cleanses and toxins, detoxes out there, what they can do is, yes, stir up those toxins, but let's say it's a liver cleanse. Essentially, what it could be doing is pushing those toxins from one toxic organ to another. And that, effectively maybe isn't making you feel the best. Maybe you're getting headaches because of doing the cleanse. Maybe the common symptom, diarrhea, you're running to the washroom, is just flushing everything out too quickly. Well, maybe the colon wasn't ready because we weren't detoxing the colon at the same time with this type of detox, and it wasn't ready to deal with that toxic load that was being dumped by the liver, as an example. And what makes the Vita Detox so different is that, yes, I formulated it to be a full body detox. So what that means is that, yes, we're going to ask those organs to be more efficient at moving those toxins through, but because it's working on all of the internal organs at once, plus your lymphatics, plus the blood, and cleansing everything at once, it kind of works like a sieve. And this is, why you feel that clarity after doing the Vita Detox, why the skin might start to clear up, why you might lose a little bit of weight and water retention that you've been holding on to because of those toxins. And that's what the body does. It actually holds on to excess fat and water to help to protect your internal organs from those toxins that you've been exposed to. So it's just kind of a protective mechanism. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't want that extra fat or water. I don't know about you. If I don't need to have it there, let's just detox and gently get those toxins out. And that's what makes the Vita Detox so remarkable. So I hope that, if you've not yet tried the Vita Detox, maybe you've done cleanses before, maybe you haven't done cleansing before. A lot of people are scared. When I first started talking about the detox over 16 years ago on television here in Canada, all the feedback that we got after the first couple of shows, like, oh, I'm scared to detox, I'm scared to cleanse, I don't want to do it, my friend, my sister, whoever, my brother did it, and they were running to the toilet all the time. There's this, huge misconception, and that detoxes and cleanses are so harsh and very, debilitating. Well, that's not that. And, I knew that going into formulating the Vita Detox, I didn't want it to be harsh to the fact that, it would, be upsetting to you, but at the same time, it had to move the toxins through. And this is the formulation. So what you're seeing is all natural ingredients. Dandelion, burdock. Burdock is a great blood cleanser, great for lung issues as well. So I find that a lot of people have like a chronic cough issue, if there's air quality issues, as well where you're living. This is important as that full body cleanse to be able to help with the lung cleansing effect of the burdock, and it cleanses the blood as well. Dandelion, of course, and the root is for your liver. Chlorella is a blue-green algae that helps to chelate heavy metals. So this is a heavy metal detox as well for things like mercury, aluminum. Milk thistle, of course, for our liver cleansing and liver regeneration. Horsetail as a natural kidney cleanser. Parsley for the kidneys, for the blood as well. Cascara, which is great as a gut sort of balancer, let's put it. It's not too harsh. So right in the right milligram amount, I was very cognizant of that in the formulation of the Vita Detox. I didn't want it to be too harsh. There's just enough if you are constipated to get things moving, but at the same time, really effective at, cleansing out the large intestine. And bearberry, which is great for the blood, great for the kidneys as well as, part of that full body detox. So there you go. So the total detox, makes Mussini, is that right? The detox, one bottle lasts 2 weeks. So typically when we do the full protocol when I'm on television, usually, I don't want to scare anybody, but usually it's 2 bottles of the Paravit if you want to do the entire protocol for one season, 2 bottles of Paravit and 4 bottles of the Vita Detox. Okay, but if you just wanted to start with 1 and 1, absolutely do that. I just want you to try it. I want you to start to feel better. And it's 2 capsules twice a day of your Vita Detox. Okay, there we go. All right, you're going to see a little bit about my book now. So take a look at this and we will come right back. What if the real path to healing was buried on purpose? Before we had prescriptions and quick fixes, we healed with the sun, with the earth, with grounding, with natural detox, and really watching what we put into our bodies. Well, these are some of the reasons why I wrote my latest book, The Lost Medicine. It's all about rediscovering Mother Nature's prescription for us. She is our best doctor. You can learn more in my latest book. Please check it out. All right, so yeah, check it out. So it is now available, the soft copy. What do you call that? The soft copy. Anyways, the file, the e-file. I don't know. It's available in hard copy, ebook, the ebook. Oh my goodness. The ebook. I still have jet lag. The ebook is available. The hard copies or soft paperback copies are available, and Audible is available now as well. So everybody can listen to the book, all over the world. And yes, it is a national bestseller. So thank you to all of you who've already purchased and you've loved the book. I love the feedback that I've got on the book. And it's all about reconnecting with Mother Nature, as you saw in the little video, because we've become so disconnected in our modern world. I talk about EMF exposure. I talk about grounding, getting natural sunlight exposure. Detoxification is a big part of that as well. Mineral imbalances. I talk about a lot of different subjects that I think intuitively we know a lot about, but I did a lot of research to find the studies that actually back up why we need to be doing certain things to reconnect with Mother Nature. So it's all in the book. I hope you'll check it out. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's so great to have you all here. So thank you for all the questions that are coming in as well. And my team is helping to answer the questions, so I thank them. I can't always answer the questions when I'm live. All right, let's continue. Today is, just to remind you, if you're just tuning in right now, this is our deal day. So very special offers happening for our live shopping today. And I am actually live and helping to, educate you about the different Vitatree formulas. These are all my formulations for Vitatree, of course, without fillers, without flow agents. And our deal day item is our organic vitamin C. So an incredible offer. This is actually the best offer of the day. It's only available for 24 hours. So you got to act quickly on this one. As low as $51.28 and regular price $75. So substantial savings on that for the next day, only 24 hours. So check that out. It's a 2-bottle offer as well. So great way to boost up your vitamin C levels from an organic whole food form, very different from other vitamin Cs that are out there. All right, probiotics. What are probiotics? These are the good guys in our intestines that we need for, of course, our immunity. Over 80% of our immune function comes from having that healthy gut microbiome. Let's go over here really quickly. And I'll show you sort of a difference of what can be happening in terms of an unhealthy and a healthy gut microbiome. So when we have enough probiotics, which means healthy flora, these are good live microorganisms. And the 2 strains that you get in the Vitatree probiotics, of course, are the Lactobacillus acidophilus and Bifidobacterium bifidum. And these are the 2 strains that, in my clinical practice that I really did see the most efficacious results with. I did extra training on these 2 strains in terms of the research that was happening around the world at the time. Lactobacillus acidophilus is the strain that actually makes yogurt. So if you eat yogurt or sour cream and you have that sour sort of taste, that's the organism that makes that sour taste. Bifidobacterium bifidum is something that is really helpful for gut and inflammatory gut disorders. So for H. pylori, IBS types of issues, if you've had chemotherapy and sort of your good flora has been wiped out, this can be really beneficial to put things back in. Helps with lung issues, lung infections, also helps with chronic constipation, ulcerative colitis. So these have been studied in terms of helping with immunity as well. These 2 very specific strains, which are also tested to be acid stable. So something that I don't always mention, but probiotics have to bypass your stomach acid. And that's why sometimes if you've purchased probiotics before, you've noticed that it comes in a special enteric coating capsule. And they do that because they know probably, or they haven't tested the fact that the strains that they're using in that other type of probiotic are going to be killed by the stomach acid. They never actually get to the large and small intestine where they need to get. The Vitatree probiotics are very different. The very specific strains of Acidophilus and Bifidobacterium bifidum that we use, they bypass. So they're acid stable. They bypass that stomach acid. So they're getting to the small and large intestine where they sort of do their magic. Okay, so here we see a healthy gut. It's got enough probiotics, and that means good digestion, good metabolism, proper digestion of our vitamins, our minerals, because we have enough of the good guys. And a big part of this too is, of course, good immunity. Now, what happens here is that we don't have enough of the probiotics. And remember, if you're watching earlier in the show today, dysbiosis, the first stage of dysbiosis is just a relative decrease. We don't have enough of the good guys. So then a relative decrease, we start that dysbiosis process, which is not a good thing. Now, those bad guys, so whether it's the intestinal worms, the parasites, all those like less favorable organisms can start to take over candida as well, which is a big thing. And that's a big problem. Now, the great thing about taking the probiotics every day is it kind of forms that army, those soldier of good guys, that even if one of those bad guys wanted to get in, it's sort of crowded out on the intestinal wall. And it's something that is, very beneficial because it can't penetrate. It can't get in because you've got enough of your good guys every day. 2 to 4 capsules a day is your standard dosage on your probiotics. It also has prebiotics. And remember, no magnesium stearate. So most probiotic encapsulated formulas out there, they always have magnesium stearate, which of course we don't use at Vitatree. There's a lot of reasons for that. And I'm going to just share with you, some people have actually reported, since I started talking about this, like, I don't know of any other doctors that talk about magnesium stearate as much as I do, or at all on social media. And I started educating people, and I started educating other doctors about this. And that's why I have a lot of doctors and professionals in medical, in the medical field that actually follow me now and learn from me. And that's because I did my own research and due diligence to learn about these things. And, that's why some of what I've heard from people that have taken supplements for years, not knowing that they were sensitive to the magnesium stearate, which again is an untested chemical that you're ingested, heart palpitations and, nauseous and sick to your stomach, acid reflux, just because of that magnesium stearate. So, of course, we don't use it at Vitatree. And here's some great testimonials that we have on the Vitatree probiotics. So from Dawn, very natural. I've been using all my life. Gut feels at ease after taking this product. Will not use another probiotic. Simply the best. Helps you go as well, which is amazing. Awesome. From Jamie, best probiotic out there. Digestive health is back to normal. Thank you so much for sharing that. And another 5 stars from Tina Jones, really helped my son. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to help your son. Whenever I hear that a mom, or parents can help their children with, the formulations. Vitatree Probiotics is designed for kids age 1 and above. You can actually open up, and there's prebiotics in there as well. So you can open up the capsule right into their mouth, and it tastes sweet. So the kids love it, because it doesn't taste like a supplement or anything. They love the taste of the prebiotics. And yeah, so I just love to hear from parents. And if you do have stories, please always share. If you've experienced any of the Vitatree products, please share on our website, on Vitatree.com, where you do your shopping, that, what the products have been able to do for you. Thank you. And for your family. All right, moving on. B12. Yes. Oh, this one is so, so important for your energy levels. And I think just living in a modern world with the stresses that we have, often our food has become now very depleted in our essential vitamins. B12 is another one that I don't believe we're getting enough of anymore, unless, we used to typically think that all vegetarians, of course, these would be, my vegetarian patients that I had in the past, it would be one of the first things that we would talk about is your, protein status, vitamin B12 status. However, because of, modern agriculture and the way that our animal products in terms of food are now fed and processed and things, are we actually getting enough B12 in our diet? The question is, I'm not sure. Now, B12 is also reliant on sunlight exposure. Now, most of us live a lot of our lives indoors. We're not in the sun. One of the things that I sort of preach about in my book, In the Lost Medicine, is to get out there, get some natural sunlight exposure on your skin. And, B12 is reliant on sunlight exposure as well, and how well it works and recycles in your body. So a lot of us have this deficiency unknowingly, and we don't need to be vegetarian to have a B12 deficiency. And that's why when we look at some of the symptoms, so this might shock you, a lot of these symptoms that you may be experiencing could be related to your low vitamin B12 levels. All right. Inflamed mucous membranes, burning of the tongue. All right. Redness in the mouth, just inflamed feeling, could be related to low B12. Paleness of the skin. Remember, vitamin B12 is going to help with the oxygenation through our red blood cells. So that could be another symptom. Indigestion could be related to low B12. Muscle weakness, muscle cramps, and even tremors could be related to low B12. Low energy is probably the biggest one that we think about with a B12 deficiency and a B vitamin deficiency, mood swings, depression, anemia, and immunodeficiency. So this is affecting the immune system now. And numbness and tingling, neuralgias, neuropathy, sciatica, it would be another symptom of that B12 deficiency, difficulty keeping your balance as well. So that's one of the things that I talk about on television. And this is a great example. I can actually do this here. So do a little test at home for your balance. So find a plank in your hardwood floor, your laminate, whatever. You could get a 2x4 as well. You can go on a curb. We can't do that here. Our curbs are all covered with this gigantic amounts of snow here where I live. But yeah, so just find a straight line basically. And what you're going to do is kind of walk toe to heel. Woo! And see how your balance is. I didn't know I was going to do this live today. Okay, so toe to heel. And you can do this without looking. But see how well you are, it must be the heels. See how well you're able to balance. And if you are always finding that you're having difficulty keeping your balance, that can be related to low vitamin B12. And it's something to be aware of, especially the numbness and the tingling, or sort of just tingling or jittery kinds of feelings as well, can be definitely related to low B12. And this is very, very common. Now, vitamin B12, I'm going to hop over here for a second. Vitamin B12 is essential for something called myelin. Now, myelin is the outer sort of waxy coating on our nerve cells, on our neurons. And in order to be able to maintain that, we need adequate levels of vitamin B12. So when we become vitamin B12 deficient, quite literally, our nerves become frayed. So that could be kind of your mental symptoms psychologically. You can't handle stress. You have a lot of anxiety, nervousness, panic attacks, stress feelings all the time because of a low B12. And that is what's so remarkable, that you can actually have a positive effect on this. Just take the one capsule. And that's a great thing about the B12. I just want to show you how tiny it is. So if you don't like to swallow capsules, this one's, super easy to get down because it's so small, but you can always open up the Vitatree capsules, remember, mix this into water, juice, or whatever. And such a great thing. First thing in the morning. I took mine this morning. Like I said, I just traveled. I still have a bit of jet lag, but this is helping me to get my system back in sync and getting my energy levels back at the right time of day with your circadian rhythms, right? With jet lag, that's the key. Something that I talk about in my book as well. But that one capsule this morning, I'm telling you, it has done wonders for me. Okay, Rebecca on the B12 said, 5 stars. Since I started taking this product, I've noticed my energy levels have gone up and overall feel better. Love this product. Another 5 stars from Nina. I've been taking B12 and feeling great. I don't feel slushy, fatigue, or tired during the day. I feel focused, relaxed, and sleep well. Just ordered 3 more bottles, and my adult daughter is also taking this vitamin with me. Highly recommended. Thank you, Nina. Amazing, amazing. And Carol said, another 5 stars. After only 2 weeks, I can see improvement in my energy level. I am so happy to have Vitatree B12, this clean quality product with no junk fillers or magnesium stearate. Yeah, isn't that the truth? There's so many vitamins that have, and most B vitamins are actually synthetically derived that are out there. Your B complex is your B12. They have cyanide in them, and they're derived often from the petrochemical industry, which a lot of people don't realize. All right, a little bit on, oh no, not on my book. We already talked about my book. So take a look at this really quickly, and then we'll come right back.
We're so glad you joined us for Vitatree Live Shopping with Dr. Janine Bowring. Stock up and save up to 35% on your favorite Vitatree products at Vitatree.com. Need help or have a question? Call 1-844-GET-WELL or email our team at hello@Vitatree.com or chat with us in the comments for live answers from Dr. Janine.
All right, we are back. So yeah, make sure that you're going to Vitatree.com. Remember, this is deal day. So happy that you've decided to tune in today. Maybe you're busy at work or it's evening time for you and you're learning a little bit about your health. So it's great to have you here. Now, we usually do this once a month. It's usually the first Thursday, if you're new here, the first Thursday of each month. So if you want to tune in next month for our deal day offers, it'll be completely different offers. You can do that. But remember, today, our special deal of the day is our organic vitamin C. see. I will be getting to our super sale item as well. A significant discount on our zinc is coming up, but today's, the showstopper kind of deal of the day is, of course, our organic vitamin C. All right, let's continue for the guys and our men's formula. This is really important in terms of formulation. Why I decided to formulate the men's formula is because of, an aging man goes through something. Well, we know that all women at some point go through menopause, whether they have symptoms or not, but menopause. But guys go through something called andropause, and usually around the same time, in their lifespan, usually after the age of 50. And it's something where the hormones change for men as well. And it's something that one of the common symptoms of that change in hormones and related to cortisol and stress levels and, other things happening with your testosterone levels is the prostate. Now you'll see that I am holding on to a walnut. The normal average size of a man's prostate is about the size of a walnut. But what happens usually over the age of 50 is that there's an enlargement that's happening. If you've heard of BPH, benign prostatic hypertrophy or hyperplasia, that this starts to get bigger. And then there are certain symptoms that could be associated with this. So including, urinary issues, frequent urination, having to get up at night for urination, incomplete urination. So this can be prevented, but also we can help the symptoms naturally with the natural formula of the men's formula. And again, these are all natural herbal medicines, things that Mother Nature gave us and that I did the research on and put them together into the formulation of the men's formula. So including the maca. So maca is an adaptogenic herb, helps with those cortisol levels, helps with stress, and helps with stamina as well for the guys. Saw palmetto, which helps to decrease that DHT, so usually the less favorable type of breakdown product of testosterone, which causes male pattern baldness, so hair loss, and other changes, but also enlargement of the prostate. This is really specific. It's going to help to decrease that DHT, helps to decrease that inflammation. Stinging nettle for all the urinary symptoms, the frequent urination, irritation in the urinary tract, pumpkin seeds with naturally occurring zinc, which we will be talking about in a concentrated form with our zinc plus quercetin in just a moment, but the men's formula very specific to the guys to help with balancing out whether it's fertility issues, it could be impotence issues, helps with your good testosterone levels, helps to shut down the DHT, the bad testosterone, and helps to regulate stress levels as well, and helps with that overall anti-inflammatory effect for the prostate. So guys, please check out the men's formula. We have so many great testimonials. We didn't get to those. Oh, maybe I should show you those really quickly. From guys. So Shamel said, of course, vitamins has also given me a great boost of energy to start my day, allowing me to run and play with my son and helps me keep up with my basketball team that I coach. I encourage all men to use it. Well, thank you so much for saying that. Another 5 stars from Joseph. With starting my own family, I want to make sure my reproductive health is taken care of. This supplement grabbed my attention for all of its benefits, which are most important to me and my family. I definitely recommend it. Well, thank you so much, Joseph. Amazing testimonials on the men's formula. We have so many more, which over the years have been, so amazing that, men who had, an overt prostate issue with a lot of symptoms and urinary symptoms started taking the men's formula. It used to be called Vitamin's formula. That's why we saw that in that testimonial, but started taking the men's formula and, really had a significant change for the better in terms of their symptoms. And that, it's annoying. Let's be honest. Anybody who's had frequent urination, before, that it's annoying and troublesome, and it's just a pain. And so when that starts to go away with taking some of those herbal medicines, which are very concentrated for the guys, amazing. All right, let's continue. It is our super sale item. Oh my goodness, we're already here. Okay, so this is our zinc plus quercetin. It is a 2-pack, and for the next up to a week, or as long as we have some supplies, this is our super sale item with a significant discount. Just as as long as we're doing the live shopping and as long as we have supplies, like I said. Now on subscription, so regular is in the US is $68 and change today, and for as long as we've got it, $49.52. So a significant savings on the 2-pack. This is a 60-day supply of our zinc plus quercetin. This one is just 1 capsule a day. You can also do the one time. So the great thing about subscription really quickly is that you get the free shipping on subscription, and that's guaranteed. So this price will be guaranteed even at the sale price for the next year. We'll do that for you. But if you want to just try it the one time, of course, you can do that. You can even split up your payments and split that up interest free over time, and then it sort of breaks it up for you to make it a little bit more affordable month over month, but a great way to try the Vitatree products as well. So just keep that in mind. You can just do a bit of reading on that on the website. So please check out all the items that we're talking about on Vitatree.com today. But this is our zinc plus quercetin. So this has been super popular today during our live shopping event. The zinc is something that we know for our immune system, for the beauty of our skin. This is incredible what this does for, again, much like our organic vitamin C, and they work together. So our DealDay item, our organic vitamin C plus the zinc plus quercetin, really does help with that proper scaffolding of our collagen, which is so important. When we look at, zinc and where this is needed in our body, okay, so for healthy bones and joints, for cardiovascular health, helps to support our brain function. For our vision as well, we need to optimize our zinc levels, treats the common cold as well. So for immunity, supports reproductive health, recovery and healing. So for skin, this is really important as well in healing of the skin and immunity as well, as we know. And so when we look at, symptoms of a zinc deficiency, fatigue is a big one, exhaustion, lack of concentration can be related, no, this is magnesium, guys, to that zinc deficiency. Dry and blurry eyes could be related. Loss of taste and smell is a big one for a zinc deficiency as well. So it's something that we definitely want to be aware of. If we have a zinc deficiency, it's not usually something that our doctor is testing for with low zinc. Okay, there we go. So exhaustion, lack of concentration. So remember, we needed that zinc for our brain function, blurry eyes, dry eyes as well, so affecting our vision, but loss of taste and smell, which is a big thing that we hear when people get sick with a cold or flu or whatever is flying around. Loss of taste and smell. Some people still don't have their taste and smell back after being sick. So this is something, it could be as simple as a zinc deficiency. Decreased libido, enlarged prostate, infertility. So for the guys, I want you to take your zinc. So the zinc is 1 capsule in the morning, and the men's formula is 2 capsules per day, up to 4 capsules per day, depending on, if you need it for extra things that we didn't talk about. But yeah, for energy and stamina and other things. But yeah, the standard dosage on the men's formula is 2 capsules a day, and you take your 1 zinc. And I like the zinc in the morning. I just feel it's kind of like armor for the day in terms of your immune function. Again, for thinning hair and hair loss, that can be related to a zinc deficiency as well. We had one woman who saw me on television talking about the zinc plus quercetin, which is important as well, because remember, zinc, and this is why it makes people feel sick when they take other zincs that are out there in the marketplace, because it needs an ionophore. It needs that proper channel to open up, and that's why I put the quercetin in the formula for that proper absorption. Anyways, I was educating people, of course, on television here in Canada about the zinc. And she said, yeah, I heard you talk about, the hair loss. I had no idea that I was low in zinc. I started taking my 1 capsule every day, and her hair stopped falling out and started to grow back, which was music to my ears. And that's why I love to educate you and, go through all these charts and things so that you're learning, and hopefully something will sort of click. You're like, oh, I wonder if that's what's happening with me. Weak immune system, as we know, increased blood glucose levels, so balancing blood sugar, which is so important. White spots, if you get those little white spots on your nails, usually that's a zinc deficiency. And dry and aging skin, acne, chronic eczema, this is important as well. So, when you start taking your zinc, it can really help to clear up your skin. It's just 1 capsule a day, like I said, in the morning, can do all the world of good for your skin as well. And remember, it is our super sale item today, which is so fantastic. So do check it out on Vitatree.com. Maybe we have a couple seconds to look at our testimonials or not so much? Can't hear you, sorry. Yeah, okay, let's look at these really quickly. So Christopher said, love this product, 5 stars. I've been using Vitatree Zinc for 8 months. I haven't even had a sniffle during that time. It has become part of my daily supplement ritual. Thanks for making it a great product. I recommend this product to all my health coaching clients. Well, thank you, a professional in the field. Thank you so much, Christopher. And great supplement. This is from Kim. Best zinc supplement I've ever taken. Easy on the tummy. Yes, very different. Unlike other brands that I've tried. Love that it also contains quercetin and copper. All right. Thank you so much for all your testimonials. Thank you for shopping today. Vitatree.com is where it's at. Check it out while supplies last. And I'll see you next time here on our live shopping on Vitatree.com.